put my, not that. Hold on. I forgot to put the title in case anybody didn't see it there. Okay. Now I can start. Okay, that's what happens when you do live and you got so many things to do here. All right. What I've done is I found the first writer's formats in the books that you see listed here. And there's quite a few of them. I think there's 20 books there. And they all have to do with what actually happens to them as a people. They're kings as well. The other books, no, I will not be adding them into this book. I've titled the book Wivey's Promise to Man, and these are what I'm doing right now is I'm putting on the first chapters and titles, and then I'll be getting rid of things in the next edit that I do. But let me switch this over here. To tell you what the format is, this is a 3-verse. You can see 3 verses here. The first one has a period, and it takes 2 major words and then the least amount of small words to connect them together. And then the next 2 verses are the same thing, but this is a comma and this is a period. What this does is it makes a small paragraph. And then when I have another paragraph like it, 2 of them are hooked together to become like a large paragraph. Boy, I ate 15 minutes ago, so it shouldn't have bothered my throat, but okay. These are also known as a psalm, or this would be a psalm, and they wrote in psalms, meaning 2 of them together. And then you can see the text as it goes through. And what I do is when I'm editing right now, I'm just cleaning up from the many edits that I've done, trying to get it as clean as possible and get it as truthful as possible. I've got maybe 400 videos up describing each word and why they're here and what I needed to completely add. It's just missing. Or it needs to be made truthful. And so let me just get down to where I last was at. And this way I get rid of this now. And this. All right, I have put, these are going to be the articles for his meeting room. I haven't decided whether they're articles or items. But it's a good start here. And what I'm just going to be doing is kind of mumbling to myself as I go through correcting the text or correcting the text that I've done, or to smooth it out pretty much. Okay, just checking everything there. Again, why he spake to Moses. He said, tell the descendants from Israel. This is what our Creator's words will be in all capital letters in purple. Jesus will have the first letter capital and then all in red. So when you see something like what I'm doing with the word prophecy, when I'm adding notes over off to the side, this is what I'm doing for, like, this is the prophecy, but it's also has Jesus included in the prophecy, so that's how I'll designate a 2-colored word. It says Israel because there's different ways, like Israel the male, so that's how it's designated here. Israel in black letters, all capitals, with no bold on them, is our Creator's nation when they came out of Israel or out of Egypt. Once they're in the promised land, that will be all capitals in bold. And then when they become evil, I will make them in small capital letters. So there's a few ways that I have to recognize the name Israel. You are to receive articles for me from those whose heart is for me. Now see, he's calling these articles. Receive. They aren't really articles, are they? These are things. You will receive goods. Well, I got a tough one right off the bat. I guess I could leave it articles for now. And this is what I'm doing to say that I need to take another look at these words. And then I'll underline it so I know which one I'm talking about here. From those they are article. These are the articles: gold, silver, bronze, and cloth, planks of wood, and gemstones for setting in a chess piece. Because it's going to rest on the chest of the priest. And you are to make a tent for me according to all that I am going to explain to you. See, this is my note. I'm not sure how large the chest is. So I just want to check that dimension. Cubic is 18 inches. And I get that number 18 inches from how you need to hew a block of granite into certain sizes to meet the dimensions for how the house and tent were built, or for the blocks needed for the blocks to his house to be made from granite. So the secret is that the dimensions that they give are actually the inside dimensions, and the blocks have to go around it. Okay. 2.5 cubics long and 1.5 cubics wide and 1 high. If this is 18 inches high, and our Creator wrote I'm going to change this to to the stone tablets that he wrote on would be, I'm thinking larger or almost that height. So why not have it a little bit bigger? This would be deep. And actually it's got 4 bronze rings fastened to the sides. So yeah, I'm going to do it that way. So this would mean that it's going to be, doesn't need to be 40. Let me see something, because I guess that's what the question is. 47 inches and 45 inches seems a little high, big there. They're 18 inches times 2. It's actually 36. Why do I have 47? Well, it's a half. So it'd be plus 9. Okay. Yeah, that's too long. So it's 18 plus 9. It'd be 27. Okay. I guess it's time to make the decision here. And put 1. It's only carrying the 12 commandments, or the 12 commandments are stored in it. C2 below. Let me just, okay. That's what I've done. It's listed twice. Now that I made a size change, the seat has to be made the same height. Okay. So that's the final judgment there. I guess I'll go with that. And okay. So it doesn't tell us how long the legs are. Well, I've added the word legs. So by the way, I wanted to show you this video of how this Catholic priest I want you to listen to him very closely because he's going to call Jesus a myth. So those that are you're in the Catholic Church, the church fathers, the first guys to get a hold of the text, the pagans, when they got a hold of the text, they decided to edit it and then teach Jesus as a myth.
The early church, Ratzinger said this in an earlier book, opted for logos over mythos. Very interesting.
Yeah.
It opted for logic, philosophy if you want, over the mythological tradition in explaining Jesus. Yeah. It opted for logic, philosophy if you want, over the mythological tradition in explaining Jesus.
Okay, you heard it. So I should have played that at the beginning. But anyways, you will overlay it with gold inside and out with gold legs. Yeah, I guess I needed the word legs. I just don't know how. They just got to be legs, something to keep it off the ground. So I guess I don't have a dimension there. But if I got it too high, because the priests go before the chest, bow with reverence, and the angels are going to hold his mercy seat above it, and our Creator is going to appear as light above there, above the seat, and speak to the priest. You wouldn't have the priest's eyes looking. Well, it does say that Abraham spoke to him as one speaks to another. So let me see. If I just take say they're averaged, just say if they're 6 foot, their eyes are what? 6 times 12, then minus, say, let's just say minus 3. Okay, 69 inches. I've got too high. It's 1836. Plus, let's just say that there's a space above it for the seat. I would say at least 6 inches. And then our crater is, well, I could add another 6 inches for the legs. Got to add it. 36 plus 6 plus 6. Okay, that's 48 minus 69. So there's 21 inches above this seat. Our crater would speak from that. That's not sounding right. That doesn't seem to me to be right. If I make it 3, but if I make the legs too long, they can't carry it on their shoulder without hitting the ground. Oh, well. I gotta make a note here. Okay. I think that has to get a real good look after. Gotta understand the length of the wall is 20 cubics. So that'd be 30 feet. You have 2 angels kneeling. They gotta be very large. That would all depend on how high above the seat. Okay. I think I've worked that over in my head, and there's things I've got to do to figure all that out to be reasonably. It has to be truthful. You don't want the priest looking down at our Creator. That wouldn't be good. And our Creator's height, if the 2 angels are holding the mercy seat, and their heads are going to be higher. I'm trying to put it all in my head, and I'm just at a loss here. So, anyways, and you will cast 4 bronze rings and fasten them on its sides. 2 rings will be on one side and 2 on the other, and you'll make 2 poles from the planks and overlay them with gold. And you will put poles into the rings on the sides to carry the chest. And you will put into the chest the commandments I gave you, and they are to stay there. And you will make a seat of pure gold, 1.5. I'm going back to 2 here, 2 here. I just can't see in my mind that there's this 30-foot wall and everything's going to be this small before him. That's a very large, it's a 30 by 30-foot room. And you'll make 2 poles from the planks and overlay them with gold. You will put the poles into the rings on the sides to carry the chest. And you'll put into the chest the commandments I gave you, and they are to stay there. You will make a seat of pure gold, 2.5 cubits long and 1.5 cubits wide. And you'll make 2 angels from planks and overlay them with gold. My mercy seat will be held by 1 angel by handles at its end, and 1 at the end of it, and 1 angel at the other end. The angels, handles at its ends, 1 at one end of it and 1 angel at the other end. And you'll make the angels hold the seat by its 2 handles, and the angel's wings will spread upward to hide my seat. And make the angels' faces look at one another, and from above my seat and above angels I will speak. That's a keynote here. And you'll make a table from the cart planks, 2 long and 1 wide and 1.5 cubits high. 1.5, that's not tall enough. This plank is quite long. The planks are going to be something like 18 inches long. Or 18 feet, excuse me. 12 and 6 will be 18 feet long. And it'll be 2 of them together to be that long. So if they're wide, that's 18 inches. That's 36. Forty inches high, and 36 and 6, 45 inches high. And the 2 legs will be 1 wide and a half from the ends. Yeah, they didn't have this in here. I had to put it in there. So these legs are just being planks to hold up these 2 planks this way. And 18 inches wide. And they're brought in a half distance from the end. Make it 1. Because they're 18, don't need the wood. Now these planks are not going to sag. They're quite heavy. But if I put the number 2 here, that's more reasonable. I'm not a carpenter, so I'm just thinking that that would be the way it would be. Might as well be 2 wide. So if I make it 1, it would probably teeter. Or could be knocked over. The only thing that's on this long table Okay. The way I'm understanding this is two of them side together that long. If I leave just the planks are averaging 10. Okay. Gonna add this, gonna get rid of this. Half plank. Okay. Now it's a 9-foot table. Well, it's 7'5" now. Yeah, that's what I did. That's what's wrong. It was only 15 foot long. So if I do make it at 7.5 feet long, which is plenty, for the simple fact there's not much that's going to be put on this. You have a picture of the oil that's going to be sat there, and I'm not sure if it's 1 or 2 bowls of wheat. So these are going to be very large gold bowls. So now I've got them. Okay. But it doesn't need to be too wide. Wait a second, if it's too long, that isn't, I'm not thinking right here. You will make a table from a half plank. It can't be too long and 1 wide, 2.5 cubics high. It's only 1 wide, so this is. This is just absolutely not truthful. You can't have it too thick. That'd be like, you ain't moving it. That's what it's telling me. I can't get away from the one, or making it one, because you wouldn't have anything there. That's one sturdy table, but with two thick and only one wide, that would make it heavy enough that you just can't bump it to go over. This would be just like a strip of gold around the top. The border wouldn't be, because you'd have to go down two thicknesses for the border, and that wouldn't be good. So make a gold edge around it. Make 4 brass rings for it and put it on there. Brass rings for it and put the rings by the 4 corners to be carried with their own poles, and overlay them with gold, and make a bowl of gold. Make a bowl from gold and put wheat in it. Don't need the word make here. And a large bowl. Well, I'm going to say I'm adding that word. And a large bowl made from gold, and put wheat in it. Then place the bowl on the table to be before me at all times. If it's before me, that doesn't mean it's sitting on the side. It means when they come in, they're seeing this table with the bowl and the oil that's placed there. Where's the lamp? Then make a lampstand of gold, its base and its shafts, and make its cups for the fire's oil, like the land vine flour. And I'm going to put an image here of that. The 6 and 6 shafts will go out from 1, 3 on a side. So you got 1 in the middle and then 3 to make it 7. And each shaft will have a land vine flower for 7 lights. Then you will make 7 lamp shields attached to and you'll make 7 lampshades attached to the cups to reflect the light for the space in front of it. And they are to be lit daily. And you'll make a snuffer and a pitcher from, okay, I forgot about the snuffer. You're also going to need things to light the wick. And the pitcher from gold for the oil for the lamps. Okay. You'll make my room. Well, that would be okay. Then the table. Where is the lamp going? Where is the lamp set? Because the way I'm seeing it is that this table's there, snuffer, and the oil is there. The lampstand would have to be on that table. I just need to draw something here real quick. It doesn't say what side the shield should be on. the space in front of it. How you doing? Uh, yeah, what a name. Let me put something here like Z. Let me pull this up so I can find that. What I've done is I've took these books from the Bible, and they all have to do with the interaction of our Creator with the people. The other books don't have that. And then what I'm doing is adding just Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John at the end. Why are there different books in the Bible? Okay, well, because they actually had to write some of these books as they were living. My best guess at it would be the time when they left the Sinai. Moses didn't write the first books to get out of the Sinai to get into the Promised Land, but they had to be wrote sometime there in that timeline, at least parts of it, to describe what's going on. And then they, like the book Exodus. Now, Exodus doesn't tell the full story. Genesis is a book about teaching to your children about our Creator created everything and how everything is. Then he explains how there's Adam and Eve, that you have a father and mother, and then it's about the tree of life. That's really to obey our Creator, not to obey our Creator. And then now that they have that knowledge, they're gone out. So that's now why they're not with our Creator, but that's the story to tell your children. Then it's how they got into the Promised Land. So it would be the Exodus. And then you'd have to have, starting with books like the Chronicles or the Kings. And you would really have not one and two, that's what we've named them. You would have had kings of Israel and the kings of Judah, and they would have had different stories of the text as to say, this is what happened during this king. They would shorten it up and put it into like Chronicles, that this is what happened first, second, and in between the two kings. Okay, and they would have that, and they would teach from that. And no, I boast our Creator made me see him. Our Creator is a being of light, and in the text, well, there's many verses about his light shining above his mercy seat, how his light, I guess from John you'd say, from his light, Jesus became our light. So our Creator is a being of light. Daniel speaks of him speaking from his light. I didn't put it, if you go on my YouTube site, channel anyway, under my name, you would find that I have many videos that are in the description. And the only one today is I've got this crazy bishop here, and he is saying some really stupid things. Well, he's actually outing the Roman Catholic Church taught Jesus as a myth. Okay, and I've got that up as a full video, but let me just play that for you.
The early church, Ratzinger said this in an earlier book, opted for logos over mythos. Very interesting.
Yeah.
It opted for logic, philosophy if you want, over the mythological tradition in explaining Jesus.
So he literally says that's how the church teaches Jesus, as a mythological. So then I'll just have you hear that again.
It opted for logic, philosophy if you want, over the mythological tradition in explaining Jesus.
So it's kind of like the distortion of the text started before when they started. That was just a quick little excerpt. Yeah, I know. It's. I had my brother over here the other day. He's come over from the other side of the state, and when I started talking about this guy, he says, "I watch the guy all the time." And then when I showed him or I played this, he freaked out. He says, My brother has been probably going to church his whole life. I don't think he's missed many Sundays. My mother, for like 90 or 89 years, did. She can't always get to church now by herself. But the object is my family goes to this Catholic church, and he was just shocked because he said, play that again, I want to hear that. So, what happened though at this king here in the timeline, and this is after Israel is gone, this king here, he made an idol of this female goddess. When you meditate to have sex with a so-called female goddess, and let me show you here. Now, I was talking about Judah because this, I'm going to say right here, is Malachi 2, verse 11, where Judah as the nation has married the daughter of a foreign god. Well, okay, take care. Thanks for stopping by. Now let me get back to where I was at. Get rid of this. To reflect the light in the space in front of it. I think if I put me here, that will dictate for the space in front of me where you're supposed to stand. And they are to be lit daily. Okay, I think that's, now we have this on this table. So how high did I have this table? One wide. So if I have this golden lampstand, and they got to get up there and pour the oil, they got to see the oil. So this would be, if I got 2.5, that wouldn't be right. 1.5, 18 and 6 is 24 inches, so it's 2 foot off the ground. Then the lampstand, yeah, you'd be able to look down and see it. So it has to be 1. 1.5 cubic high. Okay, now that's making sense. If this candlestick or candle stand is on the table, then so this, like, you'd have to almost like part the curtains. You want to keep the heat away from the curtain, so you got to walk in. It's going to be 30 feet deep, so it's got to be like the first, say, 10 feet is where you'd put this. And actually, he'd have to come in with a light in his hand so he could see to light them in the day or light them in the morning. How is that? Oh, how is that making sense? Um, okay. This would have to be curtains. Or his meeting, oops, his meeting room. You'll make my room from 10 curtains of white cloth. The length of each curtain will be 10 cubic square. The 10 curtains will be joined together as one length, and you will make loops on the top edge to hang the curtain. One curtain will be cut in the middle. Curtain will be cut in the middle as an opening to my room. You will make 100 hooks for the curtains, all of silver. Then you will make from goat hides a roof for my tent. It matches with this. Okay. Two books for each board to fit together. I think I should separate these. This should start the next one. No, I think Those should go here. The framing construction, this is pretty much the roof and the sides. Animal hides. I got to figure out how these two hooks are going to be to hook these boards to the side, because this is got the corner later. I thought this was for the corner. That's going to be interesting because it's got to go on the side. They've got to go like this, the floorboard and built into the wood. They can't go on the side. They would be sloppy. This would hold it together, and then it would do that at the upper top as well. Now these have got to be made out of brass. Silver isn't that strong. So where are the hooks? It would go right here. Okay. With bronze hooks, join all the planks for my tent. Like four. These would be for the floor under. So this is the floor. Okay, now this connects the corners, and this has got to be to complete its top. Is this border edge going around at the top? How does it hang up there? Got to be notched. Okay, that table is going to set to his right then. This is the courtyard. Maybe I gotta have it separated. Five by five. It can't be that large. Because the plank is 15 foot. If this is 3 by 3, that's way too big. And what's missing is the other altars here. What's missing here this needs to be sized here. They had judges at this time, they didn't have kings yet. and make 2 stands for girls to place their offering for my for all the tribes for sin or peace. You had to have a place for the peace offering. Make 10 and 2 altars for the tribes offering. Two stands with grills to place their sin offering. Okay. That's what's needed here. Okay, I think I got it in there. This I have explained now by adding the words judges. Males for their atonement. pails for removing the ashes, and its shovels, basins to wash up with, forks, fire pans, cookers, plates, utensils be of bronze. What else am I missing in the courtyard? Priest comes over, sets the plate down. His attendant would set the plate down. The priest would hang or cut up the meats, muscles, place them over the grill. They'd have a core of wood, and they'd have kindling wood. They would stick that there, making an opening for the fire pan to go under to start the fire. Okay. Then pails to remove the ashes, and the shovels, the basins to wash their hands. The forks are needed to knives. Missing the knives. Knives. There needs to be pokers though to get that fire. Those stands have got to be quite large or tall. And the fire stands as well, where they're getting the fire pans from. So this has to be fire stands. And pokers. The shovel and pails would probably need a stand. And What would you describe that? It's like to keep utensils. You need a place to like put the shovel, hang the pail, and then you'd also have a stand to place the pail. Where did you keep the wash basin? You need the forks. Let me put this up here. Forks, knives. Well, I get rid of the pokers, why not? These are kept in the first part of the room. So, let's see. I still need a basin stand. wash basins, forks and knives, plates, and their stand. That would be the stand for this group. Fire stands and fire pans. To Now on the fire stand you could hang the fire pan. The object is not to put the fire pan and then light it and then take it over. But the fire pans, you're trying to keep the offering separated, keep the priest's hands off it at the most. The assistant would be helping, so the assistant can't touch this at all. The fire stands and their fire pans. What am I missing here? They have a plate. They have knives to remove the hide, the muscles, put it on a plate, slice it up, walk over to their altar, place the offering on the grills, wash their hand, And they'd have to have a stand before all that. I'm missing the wash. This is their hand basins. Surprises me sometimes. Okay. Okay. Okay, I guess I must not be talking enough to make the channels. Okay. Looks like I got disconnected somehow. So I gotta break it off here. Okay, maybe they connected again. Okay. I already got the word gates there. What am I adding here? The gates to the courtyard will have 4 hinges made of bronze. Place 2 guards from from Levi's. All day. So they can have guards, 2 guards from Levi's. I want to say that they can change guards and have 2 guards two guards from Levi with spears, have 2 guards from Levi's with spears all day. That's pretty much missing. I'm thinking it's missing anyway. Okay. What I'm going to do is quit for right now and then come back and do some more. My hand's getting a little sore. So I will continue.